Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tour review is going to be about 3 different Arkfeld lights from OLIGHT. They sent me out all 3 of these for free, so I am marking it paid promotion. They're not paying me in any way to make this video. They just asked for my honest feedback. I'm going to give that to them in this video as well as giving it to you at the same time, so that way if it helps you choose which one of these lights might be the right one for you, if any of them. That's the go behind this, because that's kind of what I'm going to look at. You've got the Arkfeld UV, and then the Arkfeld Pro. So this video is going to be like which Arkfeld might be the best one for you. That's the goal behind this video. And I'm also going to do a giveaway. Since they sent me 3 of these, I obviously can't use 3 of them. I'm going to give one away locally. I'm going to keep one, and then I'm going to give one away here on YouTube. So throughout the video, I'll give you the instructions on how to do that. You can also check the description down below for that. But again, we're going to jump into all 3 of these lights. I'll go over how they're similar, how they're different. That way maybe one of these 3 suits your needs and what you do in your line of work a little bit better than the other 2. Again, hopefully I can help you out with that, but let's go ahead and jump into these lights. So starting out, let's talk about cost, similarities, differences, features, those kinds of things before I show it to you in use. First of all, how are they all similar? They all come packaged in the box with the flashlight, and each one of them come with a charging cable that is a magnetic cable. You plug this in USB, it has this on the bottom. That slaps on, that charges them. I really like the charging cables on these. And also because of that, these are magnetic chargers, so that also means all 3 of them have a magnetic base that you can take and put them on anything metal and hold them up. It's not crazy secure. It's really secure if you just stick it on there, but if you put it on some kind of a moving object that's metal and it shakes very much, they would end up coming off. But I wouldn't use it in that way. I'm just giving you that warning ahead of time so you don't put your light on a edge of a scissor lift and go up and down and real jerky. They're probably going to come off. So similarity wise, that's pretty much it of all 3 of them. That's the only way in which all 3 are similar. But if we first start talking about this Arkfeld and the Arkfeld UV, they're quite a bit more similar than them 2 compared to the Arkfeld Pro. The Arkfeld itself, it's a dual light source, EDC, that's what both of these are. And basically you have your light right here, your flashlight, so I can flip over to that. I can turn on my flashlight and then cycle through. We'll go to low, medium, high, and then I can also double press, go to turbo, triple press, go to strobe, all those things. It's the same features as all the other OLights, but the big difference between this one is it also has the secondary light source. This one is a green laser. I can pull that switch over, press that button, turns on that green laser right there. Hopefully you can see that on my hand. That is the secondary light source on this one. And cost-wise, this one's going to run you $90. The lumens on this one are 15 in low, 60 in medium, 300 in high, and then 1,000 on turbo. There's all the other features if you want to zoom in on that box and check that out. And in all those things, it's very similar to the Arkfeld UV, because the Arkfeld UV's flashlight, if I put it on this flashlight mode, all the light settings for this one, exactly the same of the Arkfeld. You're going to have the 15 in low, 60 medium, 300 in high, and then 1,000 in turbo mode. All those are the same. There's the box on the Arkfeld UV. The key differences between the Arkfeld UV and then the Arkfeld is again $90. The Arkfeld UV is $80, so it's $10 cheaper, and then it is a dual light source, but instead of the green laser, you can see the UV right there. So now if I flip this one over to UV, turn that on, you're going to have that UV light. And again, I'm going to show you all these things in action in a little while. So which light do you use the most would be the key with this one. Do you use a UV light? Would you use a green laser? That's kind of the biggest deciding factor. Of course, one's $10 cheaper if cost is a thing. The other main difference to me between the 2 is the belt clip. I think that this was the first one that came out. You can see that the end for the belt clip side is a little bit thicker than that of the Arkfeld UV. They've kind of slimmed it back down, and this is just a regular belt clip, one direction. So if I put that on my hat, it's not really a hat option because the light is on this side. It's basically meant for the light itself to be held within a pocket for storage. But with this one, you got that dual clip where you can put it in your pocket for storage the same way. So I could put it like that. That's going to be, my light's going to be right here, but I can also flip this around, clip it onto my hat, and wear it as a headlamp if I want to. It's a little bit heavy light for a headlamp, but it is possible to do it if that's something that you want to do. I like the option of being able to do that. So again, to me, that's the biggest key difference between the 2 is they kind of improved upon it. So if this is the original, and this is one of the things that I kind of have grown to like about OLIGHT, and you're going to see that especially as we move into the Pro, because you can kind of see a transition with OLIGHT from, they started with this, and even though it was a good seller, and they probably sold quite a few of them, they probably listened to people. How could we improve it? What are some things that we could do? Hey, we need to address this belt clip, make it a little bit better. And then that's what they did with this one. So I'm going to give them their kudos for that. I always like it whenever I see a company that's just not happy with selling their product, even if it sells well. How can we make it better in the next generation? It seems like they're doing that. But that is the Arkfeld Pro, or the Arkfeld, and then the Arkfeld UV. Those are the similarities and differences between those. But now let's get into this Arkfeld Pro, which is the next step up. How much better is it? Is it the right fit for you? And again, the only similarity pretty much between that one and this one is it comes with a charger cable in the box and the light, and then it also has that same charging feature of the magnetic charger right there. I think this one is the Arkfeld Pro with the racing stripes. They've got different colors of all these things, so you can look up and see if there's a better color that you like. Cost-wise, this one's going to cost you $99.99, so $100. So it goes from $89.99, $90, $79.99, $80, $99.99, $100. So this one's the most expensive, $10 more. Is it worth that extra $10 or $20 more if you were between this one and the Arkfeld UV? How does this one work out? Well, it does have that double belt clip you can see there, so I can slide it in my pocket, but I could also put it on a hat. Although I will say this one is a little bit bigger light than the other two, as I'm about to show you the measurements on that. Weighs a little bit more, it's a little bit longer, so it's a little bit less likely to be worn on a hat than even the other two. So the other ones were right around 4 1/4 long. The Arkfeld Pro is right around 4 3/4, so it's basically about a ½ inch longer. And then it's also about an 1/8 inch wider this way as well. So lumens wise on this one as well, it's also a little bit different. It goes from 15 to 100 to 420 to 1300. So it's got more lumens, a little bit bigger light, all the things that go along with that. There's all the other specifications if you want to check those out. But again, the main difference is going to be the size, but also that this one is a 3 light source, not a dual light source. So this is a combination of both those lights together all in one. So you have the green dot right here. If I turn that on, you're going to see the green dot show up right there in the middle. See it right there on my hand. Also, I can go over to the UV, flip that over. You can see the UV lights on this side. You can probably see that on my hand. And then I also can swap over to the flashlight, turn that on and off, cycle through those the same way. There's low, medium, high. And then on this one though, it's a little bit weird that they did it this way, because normally the double press on all the other ones is turbo mode, but double press on this one is strobe, and that's normally triple press on all the other OLights. And then it's triple press on this one, get you into the turbo mode. So I'm not sure why they did that on this one. Seems like that's backwards if all your other lights are the other way, because that's going to get confusing if you swap over to this light if you've been running OLights. But for whatever reason, that's what they did. But again, this one basically is the combination of the two previous models. That's why it's that Pro model. A little bit bigger, a little bit more lumens, all the things that go along with that. Again, the run times are on the back of the boxes if you want to check out what it says for each category, as far as if you've got it in low, medium, and high and those things. But let me go ahead and kind of show this to you in use. So the Arkfeld and the Arkfeld UV, those both have the same lumens as far as their regular light. The only difference between those two is the actual green laser versus the UV light. So that secondary light is the only thing different. So I'm only going to show you the Arkfeld UV as far as in this test. The other one, as far as that light's going to be the same. But I am going to compare it to the Arkfeld Pro, because this one has 300 more lumens at that highest setting. So I'm going to show you low, medium, and high on both of them. And then I'm going to put it on the turbo mode on this version, and then turn the turbo mode on the Arkfeld Pro, and then you can see how much more light maybe this one gives you. And I'm showing it to you in here because this is how I use lights. You know, I light up above ceilings, inside cabinets, inside panels. I'm not an exterior light person other than working. I just need my light to light up a work area directly in front of me. So this is kind of the scenario that I would use it for. But let me go ahead and turn the lights off. We'll go through the Arkfeld UV and then through the Arkfeld Pro. So here's the Arkfeld UV. I'm going to press the button. This is the lowest setting right there. Doesn't light up a lot, but it's going to save your battery life. Holding it down, going to that next setting. That lights up that right there. hold it down one more time. That's the highest setting, and then if I double press this one, you're going to get into that turbo mode, so that's as bright as it's going to get. And again, for me in a work area, that's plenty enough. Let me turn that one off now, and we'll swap over to the Pro. So here's the Pro, lowest setting, pretty similar. Holding it down, medium setting, holding it down, highest setting. And on this one, you got, again, triple press. That gets into, that's the turbo mode right there. So now I'm going to take on the UV setting, I'm going to turn this one off, turn the UV one back on, double press into turbo mode. Now I'm going to also turn on this one. Let me go down to the lowest setting. So now I've got the Pro on the lowest setting. I'm going to triple press that. We'll see if it gets any brighter in here to let you know what the difference is lumens wise of the highest setting, the turbo of the Pro, versus this being the turbo of that UV. So that right there, that little amount extra light, that's the extra lumens that you get. And of course my phone's going to also change some of this, but it definitely did brighten it up in here. So more lumens, a little bit more lumens on that Pro version than that of the Arkfeld UV. And then also here I've got them both switched on to the UV light. I'm not sure that the lumens is much different on either one of those. So this is the Pro. I'll kind of stick it on that light boxes up there. That kind of shines the brightest, or my little parts trays. And if I take that away and swap over to the Arkfeld UV, there's that. There it is over there. I feel like those are pretty much the same. Not a lot of difference between those. I think the UV light's pretty similar. And again, you'd use this to find leaks, water leaks, whatever it might be, some kind of staining. It just helps you see some stuff that your eyeballs wouldn't be able to see normally. And then if I take the Pro, I'll swap it over to the green dot, just so you can kind of see that in the dark as well. And then I'll kind of swap over to the light and let you see that green dot on the light. There I am on the Klein Tools toolbox, moving it over to the Milwaukee, back to the back wall. So there's that green laser light on the Arkfeld Pro. But yeah, they're all three very good lights in my opinion, especially for indoor lighting and personal space. It's plenty of light. I would never need more light than what these three offer me in my normal line of work. But if you're somebody who, goes outside, I'll show it to you here. Here's the Arkfeld Pro outside of my house in the dark. Lights up plenty out in front of you. You'd be able to see just fine as well with that. And there's not much difference between the Pro and the regular. I mean, there is a difference of 300 lumens, but it's not just something to write home about, if that's the deciding factor for you. Although for me, if I had to pick one of these three, I would definitely go with the Pro, because it's only $10 more than even the most expensive of the other two. You're getting all the features in it. You get more lumens, but maybe you're somebody who for a fact you would never use that third light source, and maybe you just want a little bit more compact light. Maybe that's what makes that the better fit for you. And then that's just the way that you should go. I mean, if that's the one that's going to work for you, that's the one that you should buy. Hopefully I've helped you make that decision. I also want to thank OLIGHT for sending me out 3 of these. I didn't know that they were going to do that. And of course I can't use 3 at the same time, so I have decided to do a giveaway. I am going to keep the Pro version because I'm greedy like that. And then I'm going to give one of these away locally. I have a friend who works in an industry where he needs a UV light, so I'm going to give him this one. But I am going to give away this Arkfeld with the green dot. And I'm going to do this the same way I've done all my other giveaways. Basically, if you are a subscriber and you comment down below, put the hashtag green dot along with your comment, and then I will do a random comment generator on a certain date. I'll put all those details in the description, and we'll pick a winner. I'll keep drawing until I find somebody that has that hashtag green dot though. So if you don't have that, I'm going to pick someone else. And then I do that because there's some of you out there, maybe you've already got this light and you want to allow somebody else to win it, or this isn't a tool that you could use whatsoever, but you want to comment on the video, feel free to do that, and just don't put the hashtag if you don't want to be entered in. But if you don't put the hashtag, I will not, mail this to you if I draw your name. Don't get mad at me if I say I'm going to draw somebody else. Make sure you include that. But again, let me know in the comments below if you own any of the 3 of these, how well you like them. Comment that down below as well. And again, with this video, my goal was to help you decide which Arkfeld is right for you. So if you don't have any of the 3 of these, comment down below which one of these 3 would be the best fit for you and why that is. Let us know that in the comments as well, and OLIGHT might read those and maybe they'll make some changes. Again, I really like that about OLIGHT, the fact that they started out with this one and there's slight improvements on every single one of these as you move forward. Whenever a company is willing to do that, I see that as something pretty nice, pretty useful, and it's a company that I like to buy stuff from if they're willing to make upgrades to a product that's already selling. I think that's a pretty nice thing. But again, guys, I hope that this video was useful, helpful in some way. As always, stay safe, have a blessed day. See you on the next video.